Besides a broken camera, it's still working. And it's recording. Hey!
That was awesome.
Yeah.
The king of the town. Hail the royal crown. Hail the royal crown. Bow down all around. 'Cause he's the king of the town. He's the king of the town. He keeps it.
Hi everybody. Welcome to part 2 Invisible People Tours Michigan. Or Mark's still trying to figure out a vlogging format. Or Ryan is king of the town.
He's the king of the town. Hail the royal crown. Hail the royal crown. Bow down all around.
I've actually recorded this intro and had it pre-produced, and then I found the song you just heard, and Ryan, oh my gosh, when you're walking around town with Ryan, he knows everybody knows Ryan, and everybody just validates what a super nice guy he is. So I had to go with that song. So here I am, re-recording everything. When I was about to speak at the Michigan Coalition Against Homelessness, Ryan sent me this email and said, come visit Traverse City. What was also interesting is Ryan works for Goodwill. And we all know Goodwill does workforce development, but I've never heard of Goodwill doing outreach to homeless people and housing. And that's exactly what they do. This is the shelter?
This is it right here.
Holy schmoly.
And this is a project-based housing, these apartments over here.
Tell me about the buildings and all this.
The buildings behind us here it's a 36-unit apartment complex for it's project-based vouchers, so people that are experiencing homelessness are eligible to live there, and people that are fleeing domestic violence, and people that have disabilities.
And what's over here?
Over here is the Goodwill Inn emergency shelter. It's a about 130 bed facility. There's 10 family rooms. So depending on the number of people in each family, depends on how many bed capacity we have in the Goodwill Inn.
Wow.
It's always full. This is about as clean as it gets.
Right.
I also have, this here is a welcome home basket, we call it. So when someone moves into a house, we're able to give that to them to help them make their home feel more at home, and that
Right.
really helps to promote long-term housing stability. So now we're going to go downtown to the breakfast and try to find a veteran who's experiencing homelessness, and see if he wants to get into an opening at the wet house.
Besides a broken camera, it's still working. And it's recording. Hey!
That was awesome.
Yeah. So what's this place?
This is Central United Methodist Church. It's like a day drop-in center in the mornings. They have breakfast Monday through Friday, 7 days a week during the wintertime. It's a place people can come and get out of the weather, have some food, take showers.
Love is not something that's a sort of rare commodity. Everybody has it.
My name's Jody, and I'm a volunteer at the Central United Methodist Church Outreach. We feed people in the warmer months 5 days a week. In the winter, we feed them 7 days a week. And today we have blueberry pancakes. We had sausage, but it's all gone. We also have toast and oatmeal and bagels and fruit when it's available. And shout out to local restaurants who give us, through Food Rescue, their extra food. So anybody who has unexpired, edible, delicious food in northwestern lower Michigan, we can use it.
Yeah. While we're at this church breakfast for homeless people, Randy came up and he has an activity book that he created for people to educate them on homelessness.
He had a mentor through Family Partnership that worked with us. We were writers for Speak Up Magazine, which is our straight magazine here, wrote by those experiencing homelessness. And so we were with them for 2 years till they left. But he came up about a little over a year ago, and he said, with your talent for drawing and writing, you should do an adult coloring book. And instead I did this, the children's activity book.
Christine lives in a tent. She needs transportation, so Ryan's filling out a voucher that she can go get a free bicycle. That is really awesome. Traverse City is a rural community, and often rural communities just do not have the services urban areas are able to provide. It's so amazing how the faith-based community has stepped up to provide support for people experiencing homelessness. This is the place, if you guys are there.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So this is the Jubilee House. It's a ministry of the Grace Episcopal Church here in Traverse City. And it's a wonderful place. It's a day drop-in center or a day shelter you might be familiar with.
I'm a volunteer here at the Jubilee House, usually once a week, every Monday, and I usually have a usual crowd here on Monday that I look forward to seeing. I'm also a nurse at Munson, so I get asked lots of medical questions, and I'm a mother of 3 boys, so I don't have a hard time telling people when to help out and to kind of help themselves.
Why this?
I think I always wanted to be a social worker and just knew I probably couldn't make a living and finding a job for this, so it took me to the nursing field. I also am a firm believer in public schools and see a huge need in the public school system, so a lot of those kids there end up here. It's just an important thing for me to realizing that no child left behind and no kind of person left, without some help. There's certain rules, obviously no weapons, no drugs, anything like that is allowed, but they have to at least visit it once a month in order to maintain it. And we have to take their picture, and everything has to fit inside the bin.
Right.
It can't be outside of it. They can visit it as much as they need to in between 10 a.m. and 2 p.m. This whole one holds 44 in here, and then we have another closet over there that holds like another 20.
Imagine you are experiencing homelessness, you got a bunch of stuff, whether it's a job interview or you have to go to a doctor or you just gotta go someplace. Lugging your stuff around all day is nearly impossible. So providing storage is just amazing, and that it's a church and a faith-based group that's providing storage is even better. This Jubilee House is really awesome.
Yeah.
It's the storage facility. It's so rare to see faith-based organizations do something like that.
Yeah, they're pretty committed to this. It's one of their ministries, and the community works together to help them too, but they really pull it off.
There's dignity.
There's dignity, there's love, there's respect here.
Yeah, unbelievable.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Now tell me about some of the people that we saw.
Oh, so people are experiencing homelessness. They have it rough out here, sleeping rough sometimes. Sometimes people are in tents, camping. Sometimes people are in their vehicles. As with every other place I can imagine, people experiencing homelessness are not safe out there. Their tents get stolen. People get abused, beat up. Sexual assault happens to women and men. So really, what we're trying to focus on is getting people into housing to where they have a locked door. So working together with places like the Jubilee House, Central, where we were together, and trying to come together to help end homelessness is really what we want to do. But people have it rough out there.
Yeah.
Now we're headed to Kalkaska. It's about 30 minutes away from Traverse City. There's a couple people that we're able to find some housing for out there because it's more affordable and farther away. Those are people I thought for sure would be dead on the streets, especially Antoinette. She wouldn't come in even in the wintertime. When it got really, really cold, we would have to almost drag her into the winter shelter. She would stay out, and it took a long time, even once we got her into housing, to get her to stay there.
I've been sleeping in there for 2 days. And I was at another cottage, but I feel enclosed because I'm used to living outside. They found me outside sleeping quite a bit. And when somebody wants to use the bathroom, I tell them, okay, it's the woods. Because that's usually what we do.
Yeah.
We go to the bathroom in the woods and use some leaves. Yeah, this is unusual for me.
So, and you said you were homeless for how many years?
Well, it was 32, I thought, until I started counting. So it was 38.
You've been homeless 38 years. Mm-hmm. And now you got your home.
Yeah, but I call it a home now, but not at first, I didn't call it a home.
Took a while to get used to it.
Yeah, I keep looking at the ceiling and it's like, okay, where's the sky?
Maybe we should paint some clouds on it.
Yes.
So, Miss Antoinette, this is the third time we rehoused Antoinette. She's been part of a couple of different housing programs. Now she's part of the Northwest Michigan Supportive Housing Program that helps pay for her rent and helps support her in her house. So right now we're in what we call the warm transfer stage. So she was back on the streets for about 5 months after being housed for about 8 months. Here she is now, and she's, like she said, she's getting used to the place. But I remember when she first got housing after many years on the streets, a couple of years ago, she would spend 4 or 5 nights a week out on the streets. And so I would come along and encourage her, do you want to go home today? And sometimes she would say yes, and sometimes she would say no. But then over time, she would spend 4 nights a week out, then 3, then 2, then she would spend the whole time in, and she's just now getting used to the fact she has a bed. So it's a wonderful experience for Street Outreach to see this, but for Antoinette, who no longer has to sleep outside, unless she really, really wants to.
So when I wake up, I have to have the light. I got chairs outside because that's the first place I run to, and is outside to sit down. I'm not used to being in a home.
Somebody in the back seat. Who's that?
This is Whitney Larson.
Why are you in the back seat?
So I worked with Ryan for a few years doing street outreach. We worked together, and then we got a project called Carson Square, where we were able to house people with a history of chronic homelessness, and there's also some domestic violence and special needs there. So together we identified people to go in, and now I work with those individuals who were chronically homeless and now have been in a house for a year.
So, but the real reason was after 3 years of being around Ryan, so nice, you had to get around some rotten
Enough
people.
is enough. Yeah.
Now we're going to go to the library. We're going to meet up with a few folks. One girl in particular, I need to do an assessment on via Espadat and try to sign her up for a housing choice voucher. We'll see how it goes.
Disagree.
You want to do disagree more than strongly disagree?
Strongly disagree.
Okay. If my supervisor doesn't make sense, I won't listen.
Disagree.
I get annoyed when people ask too many questions.
Disagree.
When I'm given a job, you can count on me to finish it.
Yeah.
So what are you guys doing? Why do you got to do this again?
What?
Why are you taking the test again?
Because they said it didn't go through.
So you applied, and then they didn't go.
The application went through, but the test didn't go through.
So you got to take it again.
You have to do it all over again.
Oh my goodness.
Creeps me out a little bit.
Does it? Why?
Because I don't like seeing myself in the phone.
Oh, but it's not a phone.
Well.
So anyways, our friend had applied at a fast food place, and his application, there's a test that goes with it, and
Yeah, so it didn't go through the first time. He had issues with it, and then his phone, of course, is a little bit challenging.
right,
too.
which is probably one of the reasons it didn't go
Right,
through.
right.
Which is one of the issues with low-income people, people in poverty, people experiencing homelessness, is they only can access through a phone or through a library, which is often limited.
Yep.
So they don't get to sit at a keyboard and, like a laptop or a desktop, which makes it hard to apply for work.
Right, and other barriers, I mean, understanding how to do that, the application, and reading the questions and those things too.
Very cool that you're
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
Get it on tape. Can you say that again?
No.
It's so good.
It was poop.
One thing that we established today is like Ryan might be one of the, if not the nicest people in the world, and he was just telling a Trump joke and he cussed. He swore. He actually did.
I don't recall.
Yeah, So now he's lying. All of a sudden I look up and there's Christine cruising by in her bicycle.
Yeah, Ryan helped me get it.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I got it registered and everything.
You have to have the bikes registered?
Oh, but if you want to try to hang on to it.
Wow. That's so awesome. So where are you headed? Your tent?
Yeah, kind of zigzagging around trying to figure what I'm going to do with the bike.
Yeah. But how does it feel to have transportation?
Oh, it feels great. I can get around now.
Yeah.
Well, we talked with a woman experiencing homelessness. She's living rough now in the woods. Broke her back climbing a tree. And the way she put it, she was taking her anger out on the tree, and the branch she was standing on broke, and she fell 15 feet and broke a vertebrae in her back or something like that. So she's got a back brace on, but we were able to sign her up for a housing choice voucher.
Or how long will it take for her to get the support?
Well, at this point I can't put a direct time on it, but it's probably going to be several months. And the reason is because there's a lot of people in need. There's it's really hard to find a place to live in our area, even when someone is part of a program and has a subsidy. We need to house people and find places to rent. So anybody watching out there, if you know people that have available rentals, or you have influence to talk to people that have available rentals or have influence in creating policy to make more affordable housing, please do, because homelessness needs housing. That's the only cure for homelessness, and I spend a lot of time out on these streets, and I wish I spent more time moving people into housing. There's a lot of people with a lot of acute needs that I can't help with, that those needs wouldn't even exist if people were able to live in housing.
Isn't Ryan like the nicest person you've ever met? And he's an amazing outreach worker. He's so friendly, he's so knowledgeable, and he gives everything to help people. There's more truckers than any other profession. And in 5 years, trucks are going to drive themselves. We're going to see massive layoffs because of automation. Budgets are being reduced. There's less funding. There's going to be less donations. It's going to be up to the faith-based community to step up to end homelessness. But to do that, they're going to have to work together. And that's what I love about what I saw in Traverse City. Faith-based community stepping up and working together to end homelessness.
Explain.
Where that is going to be our chapel and our meeting room. This is the check-in area right next to the door. We're standing in the dining room area, and this is going to be where everything is over here is the kitchen. We're about to take a look at the permanent shelter that we've been working on for a few years to kind of help further along the process of getting people off the street.
And this is a faith-based initiative.
It's a collection of 24 churches, not faith-based in the sense that we proselytize or we require our guests to really do anything based on faith, but we are an organization of 24 churches who've come together to make this happen.
And as I visit today, I mean, I've really been, I'll use the word, I've been moved and impressed how the faith-based community, the one day center we went to, the church, are providing regular services. And from my understanding, this came about when just one church opened up their doors.
Yeah.
Because there was homeless people sleeping in a field across the street, and they opened up their doors and said, come on in, and now you guys are doing this.
And yeah, that was about 12 years ago. And the interesting thing is, once a couple churches heard about it, then everybody wanted in.
Right.
And so, you know, next thing you know, we have a coalition, and we grew from that. And it was like anything. It just took one person to look at it and say, I could probably help this, and he did, and look where we are.
So, tell me what's going on here, who you are and what we're doing.
I am Julie Green, and I've been part of Safe Harbor Homeless Shelter for about 11 or 12 years. And we have been happily housed within the churches in Traverse City for years, and it's been really, really positive, really amazing. However, we are outgrowing. Many churches don't have safe places for the guests to stay. It's time for us to be in a permanent shelter, and it's really difficult for families when they're trying to find their family member who may be experiencing homelessness and is moving from church to church every week. So if there's a one location where they stay and we rotate through, it's so much better, and we can have services here and we can meet the needs in a much more effective way.
Yeah.
I'm sure we're glad to have you.
Oh, this is awesome. Totally impressed with the city, everything you got going. I mean, it's Goodwill has a homeless shelter and affordable housing. Who would have thought? Churches working together. Who would have thought? Yeah, I gotta say, Traverse City, I didn't know what I was walking into. And it's just amazing. It's an amazing community.
It really is. I just wish we had more housing for people. I suppose everywhere, like you said.
Well, everybody, thanks for following along today. If you're watching this at this point, it means I was actually able to make it into a vlog. I'm going to try to do more. Please like this video, hit subscribe. There's a link to Patreon. Support this work for as little as $2 a month. You can help fight homelessness and get cool rewards. So please, we need to keep this important work going. Thank you all very much. The video blogs will get better as we keep going along. We want to thank Ryan for being an amazing tour guide. But again, everybody, hit subscribe, hit like, share, click on the Patreon button, send it to everybody you know. Thank you.
And you too can help end homelessness.